When I wrote Feel, I was the most depressed that I've ever been.
Welcome back to Heart's Evening Show. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm sorry about that. I am jet lagged. I've been on a plane. I've had COVID, but now you are part of the medicine for my soul. It's lovely to clasp eyes on you once again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being colour coordinated as well with the show. You're very on brand.
It's what I do. I think ahead.
I love that. Well, look, you've mentioned you're incredibly busy, Robbie, but I thought, seeing as I've got your number and you haven't blocked me yet, we check in and see how you're doing, see how things are going. What's a typical evening like for Robbie Williams?
My safe zone is my bed. If I'm out of my bed, I am not in my safe zone. So a typical evening will be me being in bed with my wife and the kids watching TV. To be honest with you, I'm only out of bed if I'm working. So there's a lot of bed happening, a lot of bed.
Do you have like a really good setup then? Have you got one of those beds that like lifts it? You got a remote to like lift it up?
No. But I do have a mattress that feels like Jesus made it.
Yeah. I love that. Well, we're very excited about your new album, Betterman Robbie. We get to hear some of our favourite Robbie Williams songs reimagined. Can you tell me about the experience of recreating some of these songs? Is it a bit like looking at old photographs? Did it bring back a lot of good memories?
I'll be really honest with you, Dev. It's admin. It's just I've got to get this done, because I'm always in the future. I'm never in the past. But this project for the film was just too important and too massive not to give it my all.
Yeah.
So during the process, I'm like, ugh, okay, let's do this. But then the finished product is where I then glean all of my jollies from. When I then listen to it and go, wow, okay, so we've reimagined these songs. We've bettered most of the songs. So I'm glad I put my all in, but also at the same time, it's admin. The finished result isn't admin, it's special.
We've picked some of our favourites here at Heart, and I thought it would be amazing to hear about, well, we've all got our own take on your music, but I would love to hear what some of these songs mean to you, like what comes to mind when I mention some of these songs. So first up, Feel. First thing that comes to mind.
This will bring it down, but when I wrote Feel, I was the most depressed that I've ever been. And I guess I was newly sober. And when you are newly sober, you're taking away your medicine. But then when you take away your medicine, you're left with all the symptoms. And you're left with why you became ill in the first place. So definitely Feel is me trying to manifest a better life for myself. In fact, the chorus is, I just want to feel real love in the home that I live in. And I manifested it.
Incredible. Let me entertain you.
Let me entertain you is probably my modus operandi. And thank God that I wrote that song when I wrote that song with those words, because it kind of set me up for who I am and what I do and what is my USP. My unique selling point is I want to entertain you. And weirdly, not many people in my position doing the job that I do set out to do that. And it's like I want to be like this year. I'm on tour. I want to be the best entertainer on the planet.
I've got a couple more that I'd really love to hear how you feel about. She's the One. Incredibly emotional song. Amazing new version, by the way, on the album as well. But what does that song mean to you?
When I went to rehab in 1997, there was one album that I kept playing over and over again. And it was an album called Egyptology by a band called World Party. Carl Wallinger was the lead singer and the writer for the band. And unfortunately, he passed away like last year or the year before. And it was the album meant so much to me, and I love this song on there. She's the One. I had nothing to do with the writing of that, but I recorded it and put it out there. And then Carl, God bless him, hated the fact that I'd recorded his song, like was disgusted
Wow.
with me doing it. And I was very sensitive to the fact that somebody that I regard so highly regarded me so lowly. So I've had to come to terms with the fact, and I have, that every time that I used to sing that song, I used to think of the original writer not liking me or not rating me in any way. So I've had a difficult relationship with it. Now I don't have a difficult relationship with it at all. I've gone back to where I was when I first fell in love with it.
Incredible. And lastly, rock DJ.
Rock DJ, world-class silliness. It's the secret of that song is that it's based on I won't say a sample because we didn't use a sample, but there's a Barry White song called Ecstasy. Go and check it out. Barry White, or the people that wrote Barry White's songs, sold their publishing to a man that lives in London. And we had to go round to see this man to beg him to at least give us some publishing on that song. And I think that I've got 10% of that song. Now, I wrote the silly rap and I wrote the silly chorus, and what you should morally get for writing the melody and the lyric to a whole song is 50%. But because this man didn't want to give me 50%, I have 10% of that song.
Robbie, thank you so much for talking to us. We've got our fingers crossed that this is going to be your 15th #1 album. We're going to find out on Sunday on the EE official Big Top 40. Robbie Williams, we'll see you again soon. We love you. Take care.
God bless, Dev. You take care of yourself.